Welcome to Trapping 101. Hopefully, I can help you catch some tricksters. Let's go. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Worthy Prince coming at ya with another Lords Mobile video. And in today's video, guys, I'm going to be showing you how to trap. That's right, guys, a 101 guide, tips and tricks on what you can do in-game to make it easier and hopefully make you more successful at people hitting you. Now, some of these things you may know, especially if you're a seasoned trap, but you know, if you're relatively new to trapping or if you're considering building a trap, hopefully there's some stuff here that you can take away and use yourself in-game. Now, as far as I'm concerned, there are two different types of trap, okay? There is the offline trap, the trap that wants to kind of give the illusion that no one's behind the wheel. And then you've got the second type of trap, which is an active trap, something that's moving around, actively doing stuff, and gives off the impression that they're weak and they can be burned. And we're going to go through both of those right now, okay? So let's start off with tip number one. Okay, so tip number one is something that you all should know, but I have to cover it in this video. And that's going to be, do not press the help button. I know it's very hard sometimes because you want to help your guild mates or you want some guild coins, but you shouldn't do it. And the second thing you shouldn't do is go into the Colosseum and do any Colosseum battles, okay? And the reason for that being is, on your public stats profile, you can see at the bottom there, it says help sent. As soon as you press that help button, the number will increase. And if someone is watching your public stats and sees that number go up, they know you're online. So you definitely don't want to be pressing the help button. And the same goes for Colosseum. If you do a Colosseum battle and you win and your rank increases, they can see that on your public stats, guys. And again, will know you're online and will stay away from you. So definitely don't press the help button and do not do any Colosseum. Okay, so tip number two is going to be to do with the gear that you show to your potential attacker. As you can see, I'm sitting in fake gear right now, and it makes me look not very strong. It makes me look like a free-to-play player that hasn't really fully upgraded his gear. You'll also notice I have the third accessory slot open, but I have nothing in there. I don't want my potential attacker to know that I have access to that third slot. Again, guys, it's all about making yourself look as weak as possible. I certainly wouldn't recommend sitting in your prime war gear because potentially that could actually scare your attacker away, which is not the object of what you're trying to do. Okay, tip number four is to unlock your quick swap. This is something absolutely vital for any trap, okay? And to be honest with you, it's not too bad as far as research times are concerned. What the quick swap allows you to do is hit the button in the middle of your gear, and it gives you two options there, and you can set one up as your real gear and one as your fake gear, and it will allow you to switch between the two really quickly. Very helpful to hide your actual gear from someone who's attacking you. It can also make someone attack you a second time if they feel like they've just lost to some really bad gear, you know, it's like a pride thing. They'll come back and try again, but once they see that real gear, again, it could stop them from coming for you. And for those of you that don't know how to actually get the quick swaps open, all you need to do is go down to upgrade your military, scroll down, and you work your way through the researches that you need to do. Don't do anything you don't need to do. And when you come down here, you will see there's the quick swap. And I believe you have to get training speed 2 and barrack expansion to level 4, and then you should be able to unlock your quick swap for both levels. And the might that you gain from this isn't too much. And that actually brings me on to the next tip. Okay guys, so tip number 5 is going to be to do with your might levels. Be very cautious of how high you take your might, okay? Because if you go too high, you're just basically reducing the amount of solo hits you're going to get, okay? So just be very aware of that. If you're doing research, make sure it does benefit your trap and makes you stronger. Don't do any kind of fluff research like familiars and stuff like that, because that's really not going to benefit you and it's just going to make your might go up even more. Be very wary of the buildings that you decide to go ahead and build. As you can see, I have no resource buildings, which sometimes is a complete pain, but you know, I don't want that extra might level, so I will do everything I can to keep it as low as possible. Of course, troops play a massive part when it comes to your might, so just be very wary of what troops you're training and how many of them you're training, because as soon as you go up too far, all you're going to be inviting is a rally. So make sure you try and keep your might as low as possible. Okay guys, so tip number 6 is actually setting the trap to make it look like you're offline. Okay, so what do you need to do? Well, first of all, you need to get rid of your shields. So the first thing you'll do is port to a Wonder Forest and then random out. That way you don't actually have your shield on no more. Make sure you have your anti-scout turned on. That must always stay on, alright? Then send out gatherers. As you can see, I've got gatherers on tiles local to my castle. They're not too far away, and I sent T1 to those tiles, okay? Now, if someone finds your castle and sees that you're gathering on tiles all around it, they may feel that you're weakened because your troops aren't in your castle and you may just get attacked straight away. But if they're smart, they may sit there and watch you. So if you're not attacked and your troops start walking back and they reach your castle, don't do anything. Just sit there and pretend like nothing's happened. You're offline, remember? Don't touch a thing. But they also might go and attack your tiles. Now, if they do attack your tiles, do not worry. Do not pull the tile off. Like, don't take your troops off the tile. Let them get hit and go into your hospital. What you can do at this point is get the resources ready to actually heal them should you need to. As a trap, you should have a lot of infirmary space, so there shouldn't be an issue. Now, after hitting your tiles, they may feel like it's time to hit your castle. They've looked at your castle, they can see that your might hasn't changed, and it's now time to come along and hit you. And it's at that point, when they do march on you, that you would then heal your T1 troops that they've just injured and switch into your gear and enjoy the hit. And this is one of the easiest ways and the most common ways that you would trap in Lords Mobile. Okay guys, so moving on to the next tip, and that's to be an active trap, okay? Now, while my gatherers are just coming back, I will just say there isn't really any other way to kind of pretend to be offline. I mean, you're just sitting there looking at your screen, waiting for a good period of time. I always recommend that you have the sound on your phone so you can hear if anyone scouts you, and you know, so it can alert you to come and look at your phone. That way you haven't got to sit there and stare at the screen for hours waiting for something to happen. But it's good to send those gatherers out because, you know, if someone sees this troop marching back like it is right now and I'm unshielded, it certainly brings the attention to your castle and, like I say, creates a much better chance of you actually getting attacked. You know, you're showing you've got troops, which is what everyone's looking to kill. Okay, so this march is coming back right now, so I'm going to show you a couple of tips and tricks on how you can actually make someone hit you even though they know you're offline. So of course guys, you'll always sit in your fake gear, you know, you wouldn't be showing your real gear. And let's say for example, it's WoW or KVK and your friends are literally rallying someone. They're hitting a rally target and you want to get in on the action, see if someone will hit you. Well, what you would do is, first of all, let's go to my hive where it is, here we go. Okay, so just imagine that my guys here are attacking someone. So I'm going to pull over there right now. And this is what you would do guys, so transfer over, there we go. I'm next to my guys that are rallying this target, and the first thing I'm going to do as soon as I pull in, unshielded of course guys, is I'm going to send resources. Only 3 at a time, but I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do it probably about 10 times to this target I'm looking at right now. There we go. Now what does that look like to you guys? If you were sitting there defending a rally, and you saw this little castle port in and start sending resources, it looks like a bank. Absolutely. And if they're in the Wonder Forest, don't port into the Wonder Forest guys. That's not a good idea. You want to sit at the edge of the Wonder Forest, like right there, and then send your troops across the forest to the actual people rather than being right next to them. You're just making yourself look like you're helping your guild. A really good time to port in and do this is when they've already hit. Yeah, wait for their first rally to hit, then pull in and start sending the little free troop stone marches, because it actually then looks realistic that you've just been called over to heal them, okay, after that rally. And at that point there, potentially, you could get hit. I know I've done it before, and I know you've seen it in my videos. It's something I love to use. It's one of my most favorite things to do. So definitely give that one a try. Okay guys, moving on to the next tip. I think we're at 8 or 9. I've lost count on the number. But this is a really good one as well. So again, your team is sitting at a Wonder Forest or a rally, and they are attacking a fort or something. This one works an absolute charm, okay? What you do is you pull into the cluster of castles where your friends are in your guild, okay? And before you do that, you tell them to set fake darkness rallies, okay? Get 3 or 4 of your members to actually set fake darkness rallies. Make sure they stay online. That's very important. Okay, and what you do is you pull in, wait about 15-20 seconds after you pull in, okay? And then send 1 troop to each of those darkness rallies. So imagine I've just put it in right now. My friend's already set the darkness rally. I go to my rallies. Oh, there we go. There's one right there. I click on this. I send my troop, and away it goes. Okay, I blurred out my troop there, but I just sent 1 troop. And guys, it's a T3 troop, okay? I train a troop of the highest tier and siege, so it travels nice and slow. I want them to think I've just sent a high tier troop number to that person's castle. Now they may even think that I'm in Fury because I've just joined them for something, or what they're really going to think is he hasn't got a lot of troops. He's hiding his troops in that guy's castle. Once your troop has reached that person, you would then start sending the resources. Not reinforce, you would start sending resources. So it makes it look like you're a person that's come over to basically help your friends. So you're using the same tip as you did before, but this time you're adding a bit to it. You're basically setting it up to look like you've come over to help, you haven't got enough troops to defend, so you're hiding your troops and now you're sending resources. This will annoy the enemy. They don't want you sending resources to them. They don't want you to help them heal. They want you to burn, and at this point, you will most likely get a hit. It's not foolproof, don't get me wrong. They still may scout you, see the anti-scout, see your kills and think, and no, I'm not feeling this. You know, so it's not foolproof, but again, it's something you're doing. It's behavior you're showing as a player that looks weak, and you're inviting that person to come in and just burn you out the forest. So that's going to be my other tip for being an active trap. Okay, moving on. Okay, so basically you've seen a couple of ways where you can make yourself more effective as an offline trap, and I've shown you a couple of ways in which you can actually port about and be active and still get them to attack you. They're pretty good ways. Hopefully they do help you. One thing you definitely don't want to do, my final tip, is get Fury. I see so many traps getting zeroed because they've got Fury when they shouldn't have done. And as you can see at C25, you're going to be getting a 15-minute Fury. You can't shield in that time, and I guarantee you're going to get rallied if you're in an open war zone and people see you get that Fury on you. So be very careful. Unless you have a slightly lower castle level trap, so if you're sitting at castle level 18, you can see as soon as you send that scout, your 5-minute Fury activates, and unless they set the rally before you actually do it, which would be crazy of you to send the scout, they're not going to be able to get a rally to your castle in time. So my last tip is if you are a castle 18 or lower, you can go to a hive and start scouting them and even attacking them to get them to attack you. And it's also very, very effective, especially if you manage to capture one of their low ranking players' leaders, you most certainly will be inviting some attacks. But that, of course, is for a trap that is slightly lower at castle level 18. Okay? Okay, guys, there is one other thing actually I want to say very quickly with regards to making yourself look weaker, getting people to attack you. While you're doing all of that other stuff, it is sometimes good to actually have a weakened leader as your leader. So rather than me sitting here with an Oathkeeper that's gold, I could possibly switch it out for, say, Prima Donna, who's green. There we go. So automatically having a green hero and a Prima Donna at that, again, makes me look like a good target to hit because it makes them feel I don't know what I'm doing. But of course, when that march starts coming, or if I feel like an attack is about to happen, I can quickly change my leader back very quickly, as you can see, to Oathkeeper, okay? And then I'm ready to take my hit. So that's another very good tip you can use when you're in game to make yourself look as weak as possible. That's very important, guys. The weaker you look, the more chance they're going to hit you. But again, guys, I will say none of this stuff is foolproof. You may do all of these tips and tricks and still not get a hit. Some days are good, some days are bad. But guys, welcome to the trap life. And I wish you the best of luck in game in getting those hits. And I hope this video was in some way, maybe not always because you may know stuff already, but I hope you picked something up from it, which is awesome if you did, okay? If you did, make sure you leave a note in the comments. And that is going to be the end of the video, guys. So make sure you do leave a like if you enjoyed it and hit that subscribe button. We're on our way to 9,000 subscribers. We're doing absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for all the love and support. And until the next time, guys, you know how this next bit's going to go. Stay safe and peace out.